Hello, Corporate Services. Derry Latimer here. I'm just sending a little quick follow-up video to our session in October. If you can remember way back then, we looked at a team acronym, and if you remember, we sort of went through the word team backwards a little bit. So we started with the M around meaning, and there we looked at those two most important questions in life. Do you remember those? Who are you and what do you want? So we reflected a little bit on the words that we would like others to choose to describe us when we're not there. And that's the who are you piece. And the what do you want piece, we just explored what are some of the resources that you'd like to attract into your life that will help you to be described in the way you'd like to be described by important people to you. We also, if you remember, looked at a whole bunch of the research around the brain as it relates to your effectiveness in the work that you do, and the power of a positive brain, and how really when we're in a positive state we're actually smarter, able to attend to more information than we are when we're in a negative state, which is otherwise known as a threat state. We also talked about, and moving on to the next letter in team, appreciation. The A was for appreciation, and we talked a lot about the social brain, and how we're really wired to connect, and how important it is, and you know this already, of course, to continue to foster and maintain relationships at work and outside of work. And you know, if you remember, we talked a little bit about mindfulness as well, and the importance of breaks and just what that can do in terms of changing your state, how you experience yourself and how others experience you. Next, so we looked at meaning for M, appreciation for A, we looked at E for engagement for the letter E in team, and we looked at kind of those four energy sources around engagement. So we know that you must first be physically energized before you can be emotionally connected, mentally focused, and then spiritually aligned with the work that you do. So the first is, you know, are you getting a good night's sleep? Are you taking your breaks before moving on to, are you doing the work you're supposed to be doing in a way that you're supposed to be doing it? So that sense of emotional connection, then moving on to mental focus and ensuring that that's in place for you. And remember, spiritual alignment was about being connected to your purpose, your overall purpose in the work that you do within your organization. So we looked at M, meaning, A, appreciation, E, engagement, and T, trust, which is one of the foundations to any team and any team's effectiveness. You know, we did a whole bunch of other things, if you remember, in that day, and had a number of other discussions. We talked about you know, the idea that we're all telling ourselves a story about ourselves, about others, about the work that we do, about what's possible. And that you can tune in and change the story. You can change what you believe to be true about yourself and about others, and then notice what happens. If you remember, we finished the day, we started with the I am and I want, and we finished with the I will. And I remember there were so many great things that you shared around the table about what you committed to do following that short little time that we spent together. So I invite you to look back at those commitments and maybe even get together as a team and talk about some of your experiences around that, but maybe other things since then, and how things are going with your commitments. I wish you all the very best. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you, and wish you the best for the rest of 2016. Spring has sprung, so we're looking for some warmer weather and fun times ahead. So all the best to all of you. Take good care. Bye-bye.